Welcome to the 2022 General Election Candidate videos, made possible by a partnership between Collin County Votes, which is an initiative of the Collin County Business Alliance, and the Allen, Frisco, McKinney, and Plano Chambers of Commerce.
I'm Trisha Wyndham, and I'm excited to introduce our viewers to Candy Noble, running for re-election to Texas House District 89. Welcome, Representative.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today.
We are glad to have you. Okay, let's just jump right in. Can you talk to us about your top 2 to 3 legislative priorities for the next legislative session?
Yes, as I serve on Ways and Means, we've spent a good bit of time on property tax and property tax reform, as well as um, the way that your properties are assessed. And so it is my goal to make sure that we buy down the M&O tax, which is the biggest tax that everyone pays on their property taxes. It's part of their school taxes, the maintenance and operation of your schools. And it's important to me that I'm working with others, Tom Oliverson in particular, to do a buy down over the next several years to where that M&O tax is actually eliminated. And so while we have some extra money as a state, that is a priority of mine. Along with that, border security. We just heard from the sheriff this past week that fentanyl deaths in Collin County are up 571%, and that's coming across the border, our porous border. And so that is something that's just really important to me, that we lock that down. And then the third thing that's probably not on a lot of people's radar, but important to me, is our foster care system. And I serve on human services, and I really want us to do an excellent job. And I think that the way we do that is making sure that locally people have the most input, able to innovate and make sure that our kids are provided, cared for, and loved the best they can. And I think that happens at the local level. So those are my top 3 priorities.
Great, thank you. So switching gears, Collin County is one of the fastest growing counties in the country. What are your thoughts on this growth, and what do we need to keep in mind as we continue to kind of govern and manage this growth?
So House District 89 starts in the older part of Allen, the older part of Plano, but goes all the way out to the Hunt County line. And we have enormous growth going on in House District 89. Literally thousands of homes are being built as I'm speaking. And new families, young families, are moving in out of the Nevada and Lavon areas and other areas, of course. Towns you've probably never heard of, but will be big as we build out. And so it's really important that we get this right. Schools are affected, transportation, businesses, all of those things are impacted with our growth, and it's exciting. I'm glad people are coming here. I'm glad that businesses are expanding and finding opportunities in Collin County and specifically in House District 89. So I know that we have what we call at our house opportunities for excellence, especially when it comes to transportation and infrastructure in the days ahead. But I welcome everyone. I'm excited about it.
Great. What are your priorities when it comes to supporting the business community specifically in your district in the upcoming legislative session? What are you hearing from your business community members about what they're hoping that can be accomplished in session?
What I'm hearing about the most right now from my business, I'm hearing from a lot of businessmen and women that inflation is really hurting them. It's costing their bottom line. They can't get the workers they need. That is a big issue among our business community, and competition with other businesses for the workers that they've already recruited, hired, trained, and enjoy the process from. And I don't have all the answers to that. A lot of those answers need to come from a federal level, but we want to make it in Texas where businesses have the least. My goal is to have the least amount of regulations possible while protecting them from wrongdoers. So it's kind of that balance between a free market society and protection from wrongdoers. But I hurt for our businesses right now because they have come through COVID and now they're up against a wall trying to get the the folks. And of course, we're doing our part with so many people moving in. And one thing I'll say about that as well is I am so proud of our local schools, how they are preparing students for not just college, but for the workforce and the military. And that is an investment in our future, not just what the business needs are for today, but what they'll be in the future.
Well, speaking of public schools, coming out of the pandemic, we know that learning loss is an enormous issue facing Texas students just throughout the state. What are your plans to support public schools and students in the upcoming legislative session?
So, great question. We saw in our START results last year that actually kids are recovering pretty good when it comes to reading, and that was a priority of ours in the legislative session 2 sessions ago. We knew that if kids weren't reading on grade level by third grade, their chances of catching up and doing well academically were hindered greatly, and so we put an emphasis on that, and we're seeing great results from that. However, we're not seeing the same rebound in math and other subjects. So we're going to have to really do a better job making an emphasis on those core subjects as well, and help the kids get back. And I'm not sure I answered your exact question, but we need to support our schools to be able to have the resources to do those.
Great. We touched on this for a second earlier, but mobility is so important to the business community and residents in Collin County. And with all this growth, what do you see as the biggest issue facing transportation and mobility in Collin County, and what's something that the state can do to help address it?
So we have growing pains out in our area. The trick is looking to the future, and the future needs transportation wise, because if we can't get goods and services and people to work, we're in trouble. The balance is protecting the rights and needs of the people that are here right now, and looking to the future of who will be here. And honestly, we need to do a road infrastructure plan that looks out 30 and 40 years. We are trying to play catch up right now, and it's not adequate. Almost none of the roads are adequate for what we need right now, and so it's a balancing act. There's a lot of Texas that we're competing against when it comes to the Department of Transportation's priorities, and so we are going to be a squeaky wheel for sure going forward, because our growth is we're going to be landlocked to 2-lane roads pretty quick if we don't look to the future and know what the needs are for movement pretty quick.
Great, thank you. So the business community in Collin County and many of the organizations representing it have prioritized promoting equity and diversity through hiring practices, programs, and community investments. Because Collin County is such a diverse area in just every sense of the word, can you talk about what that means to you and how you incorporate ideas of equity and diversity in your legislative and policy making?
I love this question, mainly because when we did the census, when we had to do redistricting and we were looking at our census numbers, what was really cool about Collin County is we live among each other. There is no pocket of a single race or a single ethnicity or religion or anything. It's really interesting how integrated we are as a community, and I love that. Don't you? I mean, that is the American dream lived out, and I am completely excited about the equity of opportunity that we have in Collin County. That anyone can achieve that Texas dream, and I'm excited that our businesses are looking at that as a priority. I've got I'm on your bandwagon as a woman in the legislature. There's not as many of us, and I think we each of us from our backgrounds have a voice to bring to the table that makes it richer.
Great, I appreciate that. Last question, the fun question. What's your favorite part of living in Collin County?
That's interesting. I love living in Collin County. We've been here for 3 decades, so I'm it's kind of hard to look at it as an outsider, but I do get to go live in Austin temporarily, and I want to get back here when I'm down there. I love
Yeah.
our the nicest people on earth. I had a neighbor one time that moved from another part of the United States and was shocked at how friendly everybody was. They thought it was fake at first, and then they realized that no, it's a real thing. I love how we welcome people from outside, and you can become a Texan almost overnight. You can declare yourself a
Mhm.
Texan, and we welcome you. I love that we are a place where opportunity is ready and ripe, and that we have so many new businesses moving in and so many new folks moving in to work for those businesses. So I am I just love being here. I live in Lucas, and I live in a neighborhood where the kids still are free range. They run and play, and we still have neighborhood potlucks. And I think that is there's a season to the flavor of life in Collin County that's nowhere else, and I'm proud to be from here.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I want to thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your time and for doing this video with us and giving voters opportunity to get to know you if they haven't already. And we want to encourage everybody to go vote, but appreciate your time being with us today. Thank you.
Great, thank you.